So one of it is to improve the internet. Yeah, so we've got areas where there's totally
no service.
No
It is self-service.
Yes.
There's just ambitious at some point, which makes Hollywood does not just stick.
Yeah, we can.
You're a perfume guy.
So basically,
you're from the Hollywood.
No, it's not the name that.
That stick.
Zambians don't like this car. It's Bollywood.
Thank you.
So basically, you know, the name doesn't matter.
No. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kutika. My name is MD90, this is Owen. We still move on with season 3. I don't know what episode we are on. Macron, what episode are we on? No one knows, but yeah. No, not 4. Okay, one of the episodes in season 3. We are in some episode, yeah. We carry on. So some good news obviously from the presidential visit to the US. Elon Musk actually tweeted something to say we are delighted to bring Starlink to Zambia. And in the next 6 months, we're expecting that internet to come through. And one thing that makes it unique is that it's not dependent on these towers and stuff. It's straight from satellite. And people are, and the speeds that I looked at some video of an individual who is deep in the bush with a wife, and then he was demonstrating how it works. It seems to be the way to go. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think that's a very good move by the president to actually meet the Starlink board. So, you know, one of the things that I was thinking to say, let's hope the president has got the roadmap for the Ministry of Technology.
Yeah. So
I think those moves that is making, it tells you a very big story.
There's a vision behind that ministry.
It's not just a very big vision, and I think for a long time we really needed
technology. Just one under Mutati, right?
Yes, under Mutati. Yeah. So I think those moves the president is making, I think it will definitely make a lot of sense for that ministry. And you know, most of big businesses, international businesses, they really complain about the internet,
poor internet.
The poor internet in Africa. They call it, is it the hard continent because maybe of the slowness of the internet.
Yes.
So it's difficult for them to do business. So I think such kind of facility can.
But then again, do you think the price will be affordable or it's going to be exorbitant? It's one thing to say it's the best alternative of internet. I'm not sure of the prices. Are you familiar with how much?
Yeah, looking at what Elon Musk has been preaching, I've been following, and the reason behind the Starlink, and in terms of, I think it's very affordable. What his idea is to make sure the world is linked.
Yes.
Yeah, people are able to communicate freely, people are able to access information quicker and all that, and you know, it's satellite based.
Yes.
So I think that makes it even more affordable. And
like having towers every after certain number of kilometers. I saw
that mentioning that very soon as Zambia we might have our own satellite launched. So I saw a lot of negative vibes, and you're like, these people, they don't know what the value entails and what.
No, it's not necessarily that people are being skeptical about it. It's one of those things where the list of priorities as a nation to say, in as much as then what would be the purpose of that satellite? Is there a particular task that we're trying to achieve, or it's just for the sake of having to say, no, as a nation we've launched a satellite? What do you think the goal is there? Like the end game has not been communicated to the general public. That's where that skepticism is coming from.
So one of it is to improve the internet. Yeah. So we've got areas where there's totally
no service. It is self-service actually.
Yes. So there's one just not very far from Lusaka, Mungure area. There's where we got a traditional plot there. There is literally no network for any mobile service and no internet.
Is that Chongwe or which
Mungure area? That is 10 miles.
10 miles.
Yeah. then there's no electricity in terms of ZESCO.
Pretty much
So
they're
you
off the
can-
grid.
Yes, so you can imagine the life they are
Yes.
living there. So I think it's a very much welcome move. That's the reason why we've seen in terms of people, they are still fighting land near the along the rail.
That line of
Yeah,
track.
yes, because those are the areas that are developed in terms of
Yeah, everyone wants to live in a linked world.
Yes,
I mean,
connectivity.
and especially in as much as you might say people have adapted to a lifestyle that's off the grid. Like once you interact with the electricity and the network, you don't want to go back. Going back is
you can't avoid going back to where you are not interacting with the world now. So I think, yeah, going back to our president meeting the board for
Starlink.
I think that is a very good move. I think we are very optimistic, and it will bring a lot of job creation in terms of
no how
So basically, one, there are people who are going to be taught how to install those satellites. So you need to have a satellite receiver.
more like the DSTV kind of.
Yes,
okay.
yes, for you to receive from.
But the setup that I saw with the guy, it was mobile. Like are there different versions or what?
Yeah, so you need to have different satellite receivers nearby. Then you are able to pick. So there are different modes of receiving that.
Okay.
So obviously, those people will be installing and the maintenance of those and monitoring of how the coverage is being done.
Yes.
That is employment for our youth.
But also Google in South Africa. Seems like Africa is the next.
Yeah.
The scramble for Africa is back again. But what?
So I think some time back we used to have IBM office in Zimbabwe. We used to have Microsoft South Africa and Zimbabwe, and all of a sudden those left. So I think where we are going at, they have seen the potential and they have seen how much business is in Africa.
Yes.
So I think that's the reason why you saw Google announcing that they want to open a cloud region in South Africa.
Mm.
Yeah, I think they have
So
noted.
by cloud region, they mean like the database where a certain element of
Yes.
storage. For example, if you use Google Drive, where
Yes.
an element like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So for these guys have got different regions.
Yes.
In
So the one
Australia,
purchase, one picks up the.
Yes. Yeah. So they want to launch one in South Africa.
Would that be the first in Africa, or there's one already in Africa?
I think that would be for Google. That would be the first one. I think Azure, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. I think they have got something in South Africa. Google, that would be their first time. I think even for Zambia, I think if we can push that direction where we can have these giants launch a region.
Isn't it that they just launch it in one, for example, on the continent, just one base? Like if they launch it in South Africa, they can only launch it in Zambia. Isn't that the way it works?
So they also look at the part of, like in America, they have got in different states.
Yes, but America is a continent.
Yes.
Africa is a continent. I mean, what
Yes, so we even in other Asia also they've got it in different nations and all that. So even what they look at is the stability in terms of the score, stability in terms of weather pattern and all that, and yes, in also
predictable weather pattern and
even political stability.
Yes,
they don't want to put infrastructure
And then
that
there's a civil
cost a lot of billions,
Yes.
and you see those things being destroyed.
when people decide to have a protest, the first place they want to go is
the billion facility to go and destroy.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things they look at. So once they set up that, they know that it will lead.
But overall, the first 1 year of President Hakainde Hichilema, it seems to be getting a lot of good reviews. I was seeing a podcast, Protest and Chill, the South African version, where the South African billionaire that kept on referencing, no, he's a rock star, whatever. It seems like he's making a headways in Africa. Do you think Zambians are processing it, or is the opposition fight getting to the people? What's your reading of the mood right now in the nation?
So it's a situation where the Bible says at a prophet in
Is not honored in his own land.
is not honored. Yeah, there is a section that has really seen, and they have seen the vision of the president and where he's going. I also interacted with one colleague from South Africa where he told me to say, we can see the economy of Zambia is really making sense. So what made that person to say that comment is because a lot of South African countries have invested here. So the appreciation of the kwacha meant negative.
Loss of profits, profit margins that were receiving in South Africa.
A lot of South Africans.
Yes.
So I think that
the chain stores, you mean?
That is a talk in South Africa. So they have seen how much our kwacha has appreciated and how much our economy is stable and how many investors are actually leaving South Africa
to come here
put the money. Other parts of the world to come here. Yes. So I think that is where those comments are coming from.
Okay.
But us as the owners of the country, we're still waiting. If they maybe haven't had any business deal with the government.
There's an argument. What's his name? KBF has officially left the pact. I mean the alliance.
Yeah.
Previously, it was like no. He said the only purpose that he went into the alliance was to kick out Edgar Lungu so that he does not go for his third term. But he was simply trying to put across an argument to say you cannot say you've created more jobs. The number of teachers that die, and that was his argument. Pretty much replacing the people that had already passed on and the redundancy. So, is there value to that, or is it just political?
Yeah, I think for now, I think I can say it's just political.
It's just political.
Yeah. So the teaching is it the recruiting commission service the arm of government that recruits, yes, has actually shared statistics to say is the one who was employed the best, compared to the 27 years of KK, the 10 years of
Chiluba, and Manawasa, don't know how many years Manawasa do.
Yes, so
7 or 3 years.
So even health workers and still promising to employ more. So by the time it will be a full term, I think
the numbers will be
we'll be talking about different things. So I think if we can see things like the Starlink
coming, it was Elon Musk that tweeted it to say we're coming.
Yeah, we see it actualize. I think those are big moves.
Big moves.
I think in the same vein, if more can be pushed to the means of technology, I think in our country, in Zambia, we initially we were reading from where we are coming from. I don't know where we dropped the ball. Botswana, is it Namibia? Most of our professors went and assisted those countries.
Big time.
So you find in Zambia, we've got good actors, but we don't have something like our friends have got.
I think drastically we lost
Hollywood. I think we're supposed to have Zollywood in Zambia as well.
They try to push that. Maybe people have not bought into that name. There's just ambitious at some point, which makes Zollywood does not just stick.
Yeah, we can.
You're a film guy.
Wow. So basically,
you're for the Zollywood.
No, it's not a name that
stick.
Zambians don't like this. It's Bollywood.
Thank you.
So basically, you know the name. The name doesn't matter.
No, it does.
What matters is
if the people do not. It's like, let me give an example. I'm just from the tourist capital. We used to have a tagline to say Zambia, the real Africa. That one was embraced by everyone to say, if I'm marketing my nation, to say you should visit after you visit the rest of Africa, you should come to a real Africa. You experience the real Africa. That's a tagline. Once the tourism board changed that thing to Zambia, let's explore. There are only people that use that. No one else uses them. So you cannot say a name or a tagline does not.
From the Zollywood, we're also talking about Silicon Valley.
Yes.
Our Kenyan guys have got Savannah.
Yes, where these mobile money transactions come from. Yes,
so we need to have
a hub
like that where tech guys can set up facilities like we're talking about. Is it Google putting up a zone
Yes.
office there.
But then again, that cannot
So-
be. Why do you think?
So the idea there is when you have a facility like that, you have proper backing from the government and protection. So no one goes in that area carelessly to touch the facility there, because they know the infrastructure there, the network there, and the servers there are of value to the nation, and that's where you birth a lot of, I think, if
Innovation.
that agenda can be pushed with the Minister of Technology, even the okay, I don't know about the name thing, but if something like Nollywood, Zollywood, and that.
Yeah, no, I get the idea, but let's not just follow for because there's Bollywood, there's Nollywood, whatever.
Yeah, let's.
Maybe the other problem is we've taken Nollywood to be Nigeria.
It is.
It's supposed to be like Africa or something.
No.
That's the
It's,
thing.
you see the argument there? It's the same thing with Afrobeat. Why no one? Listen, the way it is, Macron. In as much as we say, if we say let's embrace Nollywood,
Yeah.
you cannot beat the fact that the baseline is Nigerian. So when they say where it comes from is Nigerian, and no one else will identify to say no, it's a Nigerian brand, and then we're just affiliates. That's one thing. It's the same thing with Sampana Great, where people are trying to put her in a category of Afrobeat. She literally said, no, I'm not Afrobeat. This is what's that? Zamrock.
Yeah.
Well, there is last thing of identity. You cannot say Kanindura and the Afrobeat are the same thing.
No, they're not.
The fabric of our music is totally different. So if I say okay fine, just for the sake of winning an award, but in fact mu Afrobeat,
Yeah.
what does it mean for the rest of Africa? So that's what that Nollywood one cannot fly. Why do you think the South African industry is quite big? In fact, they don't have a name. Aha, good example.
Yes.
South Africa's movie industry is big, but they don't have a name like no South Hollywood, whatever and stuff like that. So the name necessarily it's a good tagline for other brandings, but it's not like a priority. And why do you think South Africa is not affiliated with Hollywood? Because no matter how much you do work, it will always come back to Nigeria. And no one else to someone else to do. You do the work and then say the foundation of all this is in Nigeria. It's not.
No.
Yeah.
So that's the argument too.
Before
So-
my statement, I was going to Bollywood. Bollywood has been like a central, just the way you've explained it. It's been the goodness with these other industry names
Yes.
to speak. It's like association.
Yes.
The goodness with maybe Hollywood, Nollywood, and Bollywood. Nollywood, I'm not sure how much as an association, like how much they
The
put
industry.
together. Because
Yeah.
I know it borders between Ghana and
Yes.
Nigeria.
Yes.
But also Bollywood in Asia.
Yes.
It's not only
In India,
It's
yes,
actually
yes.
covered for almost all the countries
Asia,
around
yes,
there
yes,
in
yeah.
Asia.
Yes.
Here in Africa, of course, like you said, South Africa is very. I think they've got the biggest
Yes,
industry.
yes.
But then the name is just not blown.
They have not put a name. They haven't put that
Yeah.
thing South whatever that thing,
But the
South
question-
Hollywood or whatever.
Maybe the question would be, how do we get to that level?
The South African level or the Nigerian level.
South African level. Nigeria, they've got the brand. It's like you talk about boom. You can bring all these nice songs,
Yes.
but then there will be always boom.
Yes.
People will always
You
come
refer
back
to
boom.
yes. Like
Yeah.
the best.
So I guess the argument is, what are we doing to make sure that people recognize
So
us?
basically, the idea is if we've got political will from the powers be, so you'd find there should be deliberate policies to push the agenda of making the industry make money and create jobs. I think we saw a situation where a lot of actors and musicians were running into politics because that's where it was
Quick money and
quick
substantial money.
and yet it should be the other way around.
Very much so.
There is a lot of money in entertainment.
Yes.
There's a lot of money and clean money in entertainment than you running to politics where
you mess up your brand, literally,
yeah,
and then you have to recover.
Yes, all that.
You even
So I
lose
think-
some of your fan base because if you affiliate with one political and then your fan base is
Yes, so we saw a lot of that.
Yes.
And I think if we can just sit, even these, Zambia Association of Musicians, there's the Association for Comedians, just maybe sit down. Let's not talk about just collecting fees from these musicians. Let's talk about empowering and equipping. How do we collaborate? How do we come up with this big brand, like we were talking about last episode, we were talking about
corporate social responsibility.
Yes, Ebo Chungu's comment where
Yes,
he was mentioning if artists can come together and give it all to the fans, that kind. In as much as you are not thinking about your bills, the how much you're going to make in that show, you just think of coming up with quality to your fans. I think in the same vein, there's someone, a director from our company, who said technology or being digitally capable is a mindset. Someone can have an iPhone and produce content out of it and start making money. Another one can have an iPhone and just use calls and WhatsApp.
Yes.
That's all they need.
Yes.
So we've seen it's not about the equipment sometimes. It's about your mindset.
True.
Let me be consistent with this one camera that I have. I know the quality is not what I'm looking for,
yes,
but let me give the best out of this. 5 years from now or 3 years from now, I advance to better equipment and all. You'd find someone is just folding hands. No, I'm waiting for government to fund equipment.
Yes.
You are not even polishing your talent and all that. But if you are using what you have to polish your talent, to be there, and eventually when people are sponsoring with new equipment and better equipment,
you're the first person to pop up here.
Yes, they will see
the workload that you've done.
The quality of your talent is matching with the equipment that you have. Not the equipment is top notch, but
the output is
the content
the
and
case
the
of ZNBC.
Yes, yeah. So that's ZNBC. It's all about empowering people and
Yes.
let the people take the content. There's nothing that people really.
Anyway, so overall, we look forward to having Starlink in Zambia, especially for us content creators and platform owners.
Yes.
And if it's affordable, it's one thing to say we look forward to it, we find that no, 1 gig is you want $1 billion now. We're like, yo, fam, just keep it there. So, but from what I heard from the president, he understands, because he even says every part of Zambia, the rural parts of Zambia. We seem to have a person that has a vision. That's one thing that's reassuring, and that's a major difference between Edgar Lungu and Hakainde Hichilema, is that with Hakainde Hichilema, you can clearly tell there is a head of state, and everyone else is following.
Yeah.
Not the Lungu that experience. No, I personally do not have anything against Edgar Lungu, but his leadership was a zero. There is nothing to take home from Edgar Lungu's leadership. Leadership is supposed to be known. If the president stands strong to say this is the policy direction, and you can clearly tell that. Not to wabuka for as long as you say no, it's empty. I feel comfortable.
As long as I'm pushing numbers, I'm a bulldozer. I also start saying contrary to what
you're saying. I'm for Edgar Lungu. No, that guy. Anyway, there's even a debate of his immunity, but at this stage, anyway. So
yeah.
We wait and see how it plays out, but overall what we can say is that we're looking forward to Starlink coming to Zambia. Well done, Mr. President. You said we give you 6 months. We'll see how it plays out. But the fact that the CEO has already said it's coming to Zambia, and then the president is the one who announced it. I mean, it goes like a two-way. It's one thing if Mutati is the one who gave the announcement, you might say, hey, we're not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And
So
for Elon to even mention something about Zambia, he has researched about this country.
Yes.
That guy he doesn't just
you move into a market.
He doesn't. You know, he had a lot of relationship with Russia, and most of his rockets and were Russia. So whatever is happening between Russia and Ukraine, I think is as preoccupied.
Yes, to what's going on in
Zambia.
No, we look forward to that. Ladies and gentlemen, those are our thoughts. I don't know what you think. Share them in the comment section and we interact. This has been Kutika. We'll catch you next time.